Friday, January 27th, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Mantle. We have a great show in store for you today. The MSPCA in Centerville has some really adorable pets that are looking for forever homes. We're going to get a sneak peek with Director Mary Sarah Fairweather. We're going to talk about a big hockey game coming up between Falmouth and Barnstable, and we'll learn when those mooring renewal applications and waitlist renewals are due with Assistant Harbor Master and Marina Manager Brian Taylor on this episode of Barnstable Today. Now let's take a look at today's top headlines. How do septic systems in Barnstable affect pond water quality? That's the issue the Conservation will be discussing at its meeting next week. Mark Nelson with the Horsley Witten Group will share draft regulations that have been developed for other Cape towns. Those regulations are designed to protect ponds. The Board of Health meets Tuesday, January 31st at 3 in the Town Hall hearing room. The school committee will continue working on the FY18 budget at its meeting next week. Deputy Finance Director Gareth Markwell and Superintendent of Schools Meg Mayo Brown will present the budget. Also on the school committee agenda is further discussion of class rank at Barnstable High School. The school committee meets Wednesday, February 1st in the Town Hall hearing room at 7 p.m. Well, a large number of voters in the recent general election had to spend a little more time at the polls than they may have wanted to. That's because many residents did not return the annual census form. The town clerk's office will again be sending out the annual census and voter registration forms to every household. You are encouraged to fill out that census and return it as soon as possible. Call the clerk's office if you have any questions. Well, it feels like summer is very far away, but it's going to be here before you know it. The town is selling 2017 beach parking permits now through a mail-in process. Applications can be downloaded from the town's website. The cost for a year-round parking permit for a year-round resident is about $40. Up next, we're going to meet those pretty adorable pets. We're here at the MSPCA in Centerville. I'm with Director Mary Sarah Fairweather, and we're going to talk about some pets looking for forever homes. What do we have to talk about today?
Oh, we have a lot of animals right now. We have quite a few cats, actually. We've been helping out our law enforcement office with taking in quite a few, several dozen cats from an apartment. And so we're quite full in the back right now. And we've got lots of other cats in our adoption room that are available for placement into their new homes.
Wonderful. One of which is right behind us.
Right, and she's a little spicy today, but her name is Heart, and she's right here. She's this beautiful kitty, and she was actually, she was brought to us as a stray. She was found in the middle of a road and quite thin. And when she came to us, we learned that she had diabetes, situational diabetes, which we treated for several months with insulin. And actually, she has stabilized, so her diabetes can now be managed with the proper food. She's we think she's around 9 years old. She is very, very sweet. She was just a little fresh with you and me this morning, so maybe she woke up on...
She just hasn't had her coffee yet.
Right, exactly, exactly. So we're just going to leave her be. Normally, she's quite affectionate.
So what home would be a good fit for her? Are we thinking maybe no kids, or what would be a good fit?
Well, because we're not really sure. We don't have too much information on her background since she came to us as a stray. We're not certain if she would do well with dogs. With other cats, it's kind of, she can be fickle. So we really want a quiet home for her, one that will be prepared to give her insulin if her diabetes spikes again. So somebody that has the means to care for her for the rest of her life, because if she is indeed 9 years old, 10 years old, she's in her midlife right now, so she's got quite a few years ahead of her.
Wonderful. Glad to hear it. Can't wait to see what's up next.
All right.
So now we have with us, who do we have?
We have Badger and Bambi. And they are Siamese ferrets.
Oh my goodness,
yes.
They're so cute. Oh,
they
this
are
one
amazing.
Is like, I just went over there with Mary Sarah. Yeah. Yes. Huh. Or your buddy, they were cuddling when I came in.
They are, they're bonded, they are best friends, and they are, of course, neutered and spayed.
Wonderful.
And they're 2 and 3 years old.
Uh-oh.
And as you can see, they're very curious. Ferrets are such intelligent animals. And they're very curious. They want to explore. They want to engage with people. They do give kisses. Can you give me a kiss?
Look at that.
All right. Well, he's not up for kissing right now, but normally he does.
You are just I'm like a playground for
they
you.
Are. They
like
are.
a playground for you.
They're such fun creatures, and they make wonderful pets.
How do you how do they go to the bathroom? So do we?
They are litter box trained.
Wow.
Believe it or not. So we use cat litter for them, and they are very clean. Not all ferrets are as clean as Badger and Bambi, but
oh really?
Yeah, but they keep their living space very clean, and then of course we try to get them out of the cage as much as possible.
Yeah, they like some time to run around.
Yes, they do.
That's so awesome that they can be housebroken.
Yep,
and use a litter box trained. Hello, hi. I'll take a kiss. Yeah, so these are great.
Yep.
Is there what kind of household? What would be good for ferrets?
Yeah, definitely in a household that's experienced with them, and one that's going to make sure that they stay inside even if they let them out to play. Okay. So because and one that's really willing to give them a lot of time and to engage and socialize with them. I mean, they love to play. They love to burrow under blankets.
Aww.
and these two do play together, and then they sleep together and they cuddle. So and they want to do that.
They're so cute when they cuddle.
Yeah, and they want to cuddle with people too. So
yeah.
Just a home that's willing to give them the time and does their home that does their homework to make sure that they're providing everything that they need.
Anything special with care we should be aware of with ferrets?
They do have their own special ferret food, and they drink lots of water. Certainly in terms of keeping them enriched and engaged, they love toys. They love hammocks. And where are you going?
Yeah, that's why you
she's
need like a jungle gym.
Yeah, she's full of it this morning.
They're so cute.
They're
so adorable.
They are. We're shocked they're still with us. So we're hoping that they go home really soon.
They seem pretty active. It seems like they'd be okay with kids.
Oh yeah, no, and they're so affectionate, sweet. So we just want to make sure that if there are children in the home, that they're gentle with them.
Yeah,
they don't pull their tails or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. Wonderful. Well, good to meet these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are here up for adoption, looking for their forever home at the MSPCA. Now we have Delilah.
Delilah.
What a beautiful bunny.
Isn't she gorgeous? She is an Angora mix. And her tail is a little sad. We came in one day and it had been pouring all night, and we found her in a plastic bag and right outside of our door. So she was shivering, cold, wet, and in a plastic bag. So fortunately, we discovered her and took her straight away to Oceanside Veterinary Hospital just to make sure that she was okay. It turns out she has a previous pelvic injury, and so she's resting and not ready to go home quite yet, but she will be soon. But she is just, given everything she's been through, she is one of the sweetest rabbits.
She's so beautiful, and her coloring is so unique and different.
And she loves to be pet, and she's just so affectionate, and we just love her to pieces, and we're sorry that she came to us that way, but we are glad that she did make her way to us so that we could care for her properly.
And maybe it's time to mention too that if someone needs to give up an animal, there's no judgment here.
There's no judgment. I mean, this is one of the reasons that we're here, is so that we provide this service to people who are no longer able to care for their pets.
And sometimes that can happen for a variety of different reasons, whether
many reasons.
Your living situation has changed or you don't have the financial means to care for the animal properly. So no judgment here. No. If anyone does need to drop off a pet, definitely try and do it when you guys are here.
When we're here, we want to, their safety, the animal's safety is really important, obviously, to us, paramount to us. So, and we are open admission, so we never say no to any domesticated animal for any reason. And you're right, no, there is no judgment here. When people run into trouble, their animals run into trouble, and we are here as a resource for the community.
Great to know. And if someone wants to adopt this bunny, what kind of family would be good for this bunny?
I think she would do well really with any family, as long as they have the time to socialize with her and make sure she gets a lot of time outside of the cage.
Yeah, because bunnies also can be litter box trained.
And she is litter box trained, which is great. And
that's awesome.
And she loves to engage with people. We can't wait until she's well enough that she can run around and hop around and
love it.
Yeah.
So she's still healing from her.
She's still healing. She's still healing, but she's doing really well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for showing all of these pets that
thank you.
Homes. We really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
We'll stop back and for some more later on.
Okay.
Thanks so much. That was a lot of fun. Well, now it's the time of year again when we need to renew our mooring wait list. To get details on that, we're going to chat with Assistant Harbor Master Mooring Officer Brian Taylor. It's that time of year again when we think about getting in our mooring application and our mooring renewals for wait lists. To talk more about that, we have with us Brian Taylor. He is the Assistant Harbor Master and Mooring Officer for the town of Barnstable. Brian, what do we need to know about these important dates?
Good morning. For the dates, we need to know that the wait list for moorings is due by February 15th, and for mooring renewals, they are due by February 28th. That means that each mooring permit has an application, and they must be into our office by February 28th, no later than 4:15 p.m.
Okay, so what happens, Brian, if someone doesn't make the deadline and they miss the deadline for, let's start with the wait list. What happens? They just get X from the wait list, so this is a really important deadline, right?
That's correct. If they do not make the deadline, which is February 15th, they will get removed from the wait list.
Very, very important then for everyone to make sure they get on that wait list. Now, is it the same for, say, a mooring permit application?
It's a little different. There is a late fee for that of $50, but I would recommend that people, take the time now and don't wait till the last minute, and because things come up, so we would recommend that people take the time now and don't wait till the last minute to submit their application.
Yeah, very important. Let's talk a little bit about that application in detail. So if someone's going to get a mooring for the season, they have a pretty detailed application that they need to fill out, and they have to have some items checked off. What all do they need to have for that application?
That's correct. So on the application itself, there will be required documentation, and there's a little box in the upper right-hand corner, and it will kind of give you a check mark to fill out as you go. With the information that they need. Some of the information that they need will be a self-addressed stamped envelope, mooring permit fee of $90, and like I said, each mooring permit is different. Sometimes they'll need a valid vessel registration, proof of paid excise tax, but each one must write in their mooring servicer. In that upper right-hand corner, there's a box for your mooring servicer. You must write that in, and they all must complete and sign the mooring permit to get the application.
What is a mooring servicer?
So a mooring servicer is someone that services your mooring. They put it in the beginning of the year. Sometimes they put a winter stake in, or they take it out at the end of the year.
Okay, so pretty important is it important to have certain people perform that function for you? Do they have to be registered?
Yes, they do. Each mooring servicer must be registered by the town.
Great. And do you have a list of those names?
We do. We have it at the office.
Wonderful. So if anyone is wondering about, what that is, they can head to the Marine and Environmental Affairs office. When does this stuff really start picking up? So our deadlines are February 15th, February 28th, February 15th for wait lists, February 28th for those mooring applications. When do we start seeing things go back in the water, and when do you guys start really preparing for the spring and summer season?
Well, we're preparing now for them. It's been very busy here in the office for the past couple weeks. Things will trickle in. Mail comes in every day in boxes, so we're preparing now for the spring and summer months. But right around March and in April, things really start getting going here. By the end of March, I hope to have all the mooring permits done, all the applications done. Like I said, it's 2,300 mooring permits, so I have to review each and every one, and I put each mooring application into the system and approve them or deny them. So there's a lot of paperwork to go through.
Wow.
But, we're already preparing for the spring and summer now.
Yeah, talk about time consuming. I guess that's why we need to get those in so early in the year.
That's correct.
Anything else we need to know as we head into the spring season?
Well, right now I want to just cover marinas for a second. So slip renewals, this is important. They're due my next Tuesday, January 31st. So the deposit, if you have a slip in the town of Barnstable, and they need to get their slip renewal fees in next Tuesday by January 31st. And moorings for the waiting list for each of our 4 marinas, there's a waiting list for each one, and they also have to be in by February 15th.
Okay, so some important dates coming up.
That's correct.
If anyone has questions about the process, are they able to call your office for advice?
Our office number is 888-790-6273, and that's the Harbor Master line. And our hours of operation are 8:30 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. And let me just cover once again, February 28th, 2017 is the application for mooring permits. That's the deadline, and we do close at 4:15 that day. So.
Good to know. Good to know. Thank you so much, Brian, for joining us today and telling us everything we need to know about those wait lists and mooring renewals and applications. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah.
Look forward to chatting with you again in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye-bye. My guest today, Brian Taylor. He is the Assistant Harbor Master and Mooring Officer for the town of Barnstable. Falmouth and Barnstable boys hockey teams are going to battle it out on Monday. To learn more about the big game, we chat with HYCC General Manager Joe Izzo. Falmouth and Barnstable have always had a big rivalry. A Monday night that comes to a head at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. Joe Izzo, General Manager of the HYCC, is here to tell us more about this event. Joe, what can we expect on Monday?
We can expect a wonderful night of high school hockey for the boys. The Barnstable High School varsity team and the JV team will both take on Falmouth High School on Monday the 30th. The JV game starts at 5:30, and then the varsity will take the ice at 7:30 on Monday night. We had, as you may remember, we had our first significant snowfall of the year a couple of weeks ago, and that's when we were originally planned to play Barnstable and Falmouth here at the HYCC on a Saturday night. But we had a significant snow event that caused the game to be postponed, so we're looking forward to the makeup on Monday night.
Yes, very exciting. You know, my high school age daughter has told me many, many times that people in high school on the Cape are very into their hockey. So this is probably going to draw a pretty big crowd to the HYCC, I'm assuming. Yeah,
definitely. Historically, this game in particular is always our most well-attended game, not only for high school students, but for adults and alumni and for youth hockey players and just casual observers. It's always a closely contested game, and the two towns sometimes have a little friction, and that's not only on the ice but on the football field, the baseball field, and the basketball court as well. So we're excited to be part of the festivities, and if you come down to the HYCC on Monday, tickets are fairly inexpensive. You can get an adult ticket for $5. A senior or a youth ticket is just $3. So we're looking forward to a well-played game and a lot of excitement and some good memories here at the HYCC.
So exciting, for sure. You know, I want to ask you, Joe, the tickets are pretty affordable. Do you have a lot of attendance to these hockey games, or are just certain ones kind of more of a draw?
Definitely certain ones are more of a draw, especially when we have a lot of local teams playing, whether it's Falmouth or Sandwich or DY. We tend to see bigger crowds for those. But this Saturday night we have Bridgewater Raynham coming in on Saturday night, and that will be senior night for the boys team, and we'll probably draw a pretty good crowd for that game as well. But typically we'll see it for a lot of the local teams that Barnstable plays, because the opposing fans can travel as well. So we get a really good contingent of support from Barnstable, from the high school students and parents and alumni. But when we really see the attendance kick up is when the teams are in closer proximity and their fans can travel.
Yeah, exactly. And Barnstable and Falmouth are just fit right in that category.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder when this rivalry really began, Joe. This has been going on for years, right?
I believe it started in 1849. No, I kid.
You're making that.
No. I know it's not as long as the football rivalry, which is one of the oldest in the state. But I know that Falmouth and Barnstable have been playing each other for a long, long time, and it's a storied rivalry, especially in high school hockey here in the state of Massachusetts. So it's really cool to host it here.
So if we head to the Falmouth Barnstable hockey game on Monday night, will the casual gourmet be there to serve dinner?
Oh my goodness, yes, of course, of course, yes. And they'll be obviously offering all kinds of great food and drink, and they'll probably do some specials for the game as well, and they'll do things to help keep the lines moving. So when you head out after the first period ends, during the first intermission, they'll serve you up lickety split so you can get back in your seat by the time the second period starts.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me because heading to a hockey game after work on Monday sounds like a lot of fun, but I really don't have time to make dinner and
Yeah,
all
no,
that
you don't
stuff.
have to. Let the casual gourmet make it for you.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds like a great idea. Anything else happening at the HYCC?
Tons of stuff. Tons. We have, high school hockey, which we talked about. We talked heavily about the boys, but there's the high school girls program that plays. They'll play this weekend. Mashpee Monomoy will play in the next couple of days, and St. John Paul. We'll have a home hockey game this weekend as well. So the ice will be crazy for the whole weekend, and then the gymnasium will be busy with basketball too. So,
yeah, exciting. I love coming to the HYCC, seeing it full of people, and just watching the community take advantage of the HYCC is just heartwarming.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I'll share a brief story with you. Last weekend we had, I think it was might have been the first time this high school hockey season. On Saturday night that we had all four of our varsity programs that call the HYCC home. All four of them played here on Saturday night.
Wow!
So on one side was the boys varsity game. They played on Kennedy, and then at the exact same time on the Butler side was St. John Paul, and then after the boys game was the girls high school Barnstable game on Butler, and then on the Kennedy side was the Mashpee Monomoy team. So Saturday night here, I mean every weekend here is crazy, but Saturday in particular, we saw a lot of people coming and going and lots of great high school hockey. So it was really neat to be a part of it.
Well, fun to watch, and good luck on Monday. Hopefully everything goes off without a hitch.
It will be great. It'll be a great night, and I hope to see you here.
Oh, you never know. I'll keep you hanging. I'll keep you guessing. All right. Thanks, Joe. We'll look forward to chatting with you again next week or the week after.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah.
All right, talk to you soon. My guest today, General Manager of the HYCC, Joe Izzo. Now let's find out what's happening around town in today's community calendar. Barnstable High School Drama Club alumni will reunite this weekend to raise money for the Cotuit Center for the Arts. The talented group of alumni will stage 3 readings of Shakespeare comedies this Friday evening at 7:30, Saturday evening at 7:30, and Sunday afternoon at 2. The readings will be held at the Cotuit Center for the Arts. They are free to attend. Donations will be accepted. Well, did you receive a Kindle or a Nook this holiday season? Cotuit Library staff will host a class at the Barnstable Senior Center to answer your questions about downloading books from the library and setting up your e-reader. You should bring your device to the class. There's a limit of 8 participants called the Senior Center to sign up. The class will be held Tuesday, January 31st from 1:30 to 2:30. Well, there are no board, committee, or commission meetings today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back Monday with another great show for you. We're going to chat with Cape Cod Community College spokesperson Michael Gross. We're going to try to talk to Superintendent of Schools Meg Mayo Brown, and so much more. We'll also have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.